Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Alright, just then I was receiving a message about freedom, about your freedom. You are free. I'm picking up on an energy that wants to consume you, okay? Wants to control, wants to remain, wants to stick around. This is someone who is so afraid of no longer feeling relevant to you in your life. They don't fit anymore. Who they are and what they bring, their energy signature, it doesn't fit in your realm anymore. It doesn't serve a positive purpose for you. And this person is very aware of you exercising your freedom and your self-love. 144 on the timer. They know that you have important work to do. They know that you have a divine assignment, which doesn't necessarily bother them. What bothers them is that they know that they're not a part of it. This person has not figured out how to make themselves relevant in their own world. 222 on the timer, within their own realm. And so they're very dependent on other people to make them feel relevant in their world. Just a little while ago, I was napping and I had a dream, and I'd never seen this being before. That was in my dream. But it's a message for the collective. And in my dream, I was a different person. I looked different. But I turned to this person as they called me, trying to get my attention. And I turned to them and I just looked at them. Not with any rudeness or anything. I just looked at them. But they wanted me to like fawn over them and, oh my gosh, it's you, hey. And I didn't do that. And so this person said, oh, wow, really? Like, that's how you're gonna act? Like, that's how you're gonna treat me? Like, oh, you're too good for me now. So there was no emotional connection between me and this person because I had never seen this person before in the dream. This is a collective energy. It's like, it feels potentially like it's someone that you have known from your past. It could be someone who truly, desperately wants to be a love interest to you. Someone that you include in your inner circle, but they know that the time has come for you to move on, or for them to move on. Either way you look at it, but somebody's got to go, and they don't like it. So the message that's coming through is to exercise your freedom. Know that you are free. 444 on the timer. Know that you are divinely protected on your path. And not everybody's gonna like it. Not everybody's gonna like the choices that you make. to exercise your freedom and your self-love. Self-love doesn't always look like, you know, going to get a pedicure and soaking in the tub with a bunch of candles. I mean, that can be a part of it. But self-love can also be very tough. It's those tough choices that we have to make to exercise our freedom and to protect our energy, despite the fact that other people around us want us to make choices that align with what they want for us, or how they want us to fit into their world. Okay, so just a message. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Ashe. Beautiful being, let's go ahead and get started with the wisdom of the oracle to see what is coming through. I rebuke monitoring spirits at this time. Beings may observe, but respectfully. Yeah. If you've been experiencing monitoring spirits, we rebuke that. Any malice or vindictive energy that comes along with that, we rebuke that. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Alright, what's coming through for this beautiful being, Spirit? Card 51, milk and honey. You are the milk and honey. You are the milk and honey, and people know that. This being that wants to remain in your realm knows that. They know that the milk and honey lies with you because you nurture yourself. You know, people who love on themselves, people who align with the divine, they're the ones with the milk and honey. That's you. You've worked for your milk and honey. You've worked for your rainbow. You've been through a lot. You've earned this peace. I just keep hearing you are the milk and honey. This is card 51. 5 and 1 is 6. There are people around you who are stuck in their lower realms, their lower self. You know, there's nothing wrong with the lower self, but when we get stuck there, we're out of balance. And so that's where a lot of people around you are. And they see you flowing in your milk and honey. And they want a part of that. They want to come sit at your table and drink your milk and eat your honey. But they need to get their own nurturance. They need to learn how to create their own abundance. This isn't about not being willing to share. This is about not being willing to allow others to siphon. Okay? Yeah. You are the milk and honey. Elephants might be important to you or significant to you on your journey. There's a baby elephant there. Having fun in that bowl. There could be a child in your life that's important to you, or you might be doing work with your inner child, allowing your inner child to play, allowing your inner child to explore. This brings healing to all of yourselves, your past, present, and future selves. I'm also getting here the act of enjoying what you eat, mindful eating, allowing yourself time to really truly prepare your food, taste your food, enjoy it, allowing your consumption of food to be a meditative process, a process during which you show yourself love. You give yourself time to nurture and nourish your body. Something very beautiful is coming in for you. I just heard a truck or a vehicle pull up out there. Something is coming in for you. Yeah, you hear that? Adjustments need to be made to make room for this. It's a few more cords that need to be cut. That's what I'm seeing. Potentially, that's the significance of that message coming through about releasing these beings that really want to remain in your world, that are so pressed about it too. It's like they're in a panic. I see them sweating. They don't want you to see that. But there is a lot of stress that they feel about no longer having access to your energy, no longer being able to sit at your table and drink your milk and eat your honey freely and not have to generate a damn thing on their own, okay? 11:11 on the timer. A portal is open for something to go and for something else to come in. And what's coming in is associated with this rainbow. It brings peace, it brings abundance, it brings joy after a time of suffering and sorrow. And someone can smell your abundance. Like energetically they sense it. And so they're very motivated to remain in your world because they know that as great as it's been having access to your energy, they feel like it would only get better. But what I'm hearing is that the presence of this person, it really does feel like a person, because sometimes it's a group of people, and for some of you it may be a group of people. 12:12 on the timer. But when a person or a group remains, when we're due for so much abundance, it gets things all out of whack, all out of balance. And so the abundance that they're trying to stick around for, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer, to witness, but not only to witness, but to partake of, or partake in, or enjoy for themselves, they get it all out of balance, so it's not even what they expected it to be, or what we hoped it would be. And so that's why they've got to go. Whoever this is, you already know. This is just confirmation for you. Okay, one more from this deck. Come to the edge and a leg up. Yeah. All right, now I'm getting multiple messages here. This come to the edge is like you're on the precipice of something, okay? Something really wonderful. This is your abundance that you're experiencing. It's getting closer and closer. You've already dared to do so much, to be brave, to be yourself. I'm hearing to be naked, but in a way that's like not necessarily physical, it's figurative. You've shed so many layers and you've allowed yourself to just be you, which is the very best thing that you could ever do, is just be you. 14:14 on the timer. You have manifested a state of temperance for yourself, balance, patience, and peace. Yeah, you're an earth angel, and you're here to do beautiful things, and you already are doing beautiful things. But there are many more things that you'll do as you continue to come to the edge. With this leg up, I'm seeing that there are certain people in your life that want a handout, okay? They want to... I'm getting an image of someone laying their head on your shoulder but it's not romantic. It's not sweet and warm and fuzzy. Like, you're sitting there like, they're like all, and you're like, you know, you're annoyed by it because they've done it for so long. It's time for them to sit up straight and do what they need to do with their life, with their energy, with their talents, with their resources. And one reason why this has become annoying to you, if this is your message, is because you see now that the support that you've given them in the past, at one time, it served them. But after a certain point, they depended on it so much to the point where it just made them weaker and weaker and weaker. 15:55 on the timer. A change is necessary, and this involves someone else's self-love. They need to activate their self-love, and they need to get out of your energy. What I'm hearing is that the only way that this person should remain in your energy is if they go through a huge transformation. And in order to do that, they've got to separate themselves from you for at least a time. Okay. But the other message that I'm getting from this leg up card is that there is a child in your realm. Earlier today I was getting the message of a runaway. Now what was coming through was that this could be like someone who wants to run away, someone who's frustrated, someone who, and I feel like this could be your energy that you felt in the past as a young person. Perhaps at one time in your life you were so frustrated with your surroundings, with your home environment, or maybe school, that you considered running away. You wanted to get away. I'm hearing Lenny Kravitz, I've got to get away. I wanna fly away. So this could be your energy, and you know, with that inner child vibe coming through with that baby elephant there, this could be energy that you're healing from the past, where you wanted to separate yourself from your home environment because it was heavy or frustrating, or it didn't provide the support that you needed in order to survive, thrive. Okay? But there could be someone in your realm now that's feeling frustrated. If there is, what's coming through is that there's somebody who may want to, they're frustrated, they want to push themselves out there. You could be concerned because you know what's out there and they don't. You know, it's like a young person who is so motivated to do their own thing, and you're looking at their situation from the perspective of an adult who's seen a lot more of the world, and they're just so eager to get out there, and you're like, please don't go out there because you don't know what is out there waiting for you. Okay? This could be someone who's very eager. I'm getting an eager energy. I'm picking up on fire. It feels like there could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy here in this young energy. Now remember, this could apply to past, present, future. I'm getting a message of love languages. Whoever this young person is, they have a very different love language than perhaps what you are used to or what feels wholesome to you. They show love differently. I'm seeing transportation, like this young person wants to get on a bus, a train, a plane, a subway, something. I'm seeing a bag, like they're thinking about what they would pack. And remember, this could also apply to your past self, okay? If this is something that you experienced, and perhaps Divine is bringing this back for, or bringing this up, bringing this through for inner child healing. Or it could be a child that is in your life, a young person who's in your life. I'm seeing fire. So whether they have significant fire energy in their chart, or if they just are so eager, very passionate about getting out there in the world. It's like they want to start their life. They want to, I'm hearing an engine rev up. They just want to go. They show love differently. I'm seeing like love languages, and it feels like the way that you naturally give and receive love and the way that they naturally give and receive love, it feels different. But there is a common ground between you. I'm getting that the commonality between the two of you is energetic sensitivity. You're both energetically sensitive. You both are, you feel the spirit realm. You feel it. Okay, let's pull some cards. I'm channeling a lot. Let's pull some cards. Thank you, Divine. What's coming through that we need to know about this situation, Divine? A leg up. This eager spirit, risk. Okay, so there's someone, you know how people, 22:33 on the timer, how people, I'm hearing at risk, like at risk youth. Okay, so I don't claim that, not for you or for anyone in your life, but there is a risk that this young person wants to take. And depending on how they move with this risk that they want to take, there is caution that they need to take. There's care that they need to have regarding how they move forward, okay? There's caution. I said move on to this one, okay? Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through? Gambler and advocate. Gambler and advocate. Yeah, there's, I'm telling you, this youthful spirit, this young spirit wants to gamble something. They're willing to lay it all on the line. They're willing to risk it all. They're willing to risk it all. Advocate. Embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. That's the shadow attribute. Light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. This young person is their soul is inviting them to welcome compassion into their life, to look at themselves from a more compassionate view, to be their own advocate. That's what it is. That's what it is. Divine is inviting this young person to learn how to advocate for themselves, from a place of compassion, not from a place of being so eager to risk everything, but to take things one step at a time, to think things through, and to see the world and themselves from a more compassionate point of view. What else, Spirit? Martyr. I feel like this is coming through for you. Perhaps you have sacrificed a lot. You've sacrificed a lot in this situation. And Divine says you're not required to be a martyr. You're not required to be a martyr. Athlete. Transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. This young person could be an athlete, or they could be interested in using their physical body in a competitive way. Okay? There could have been some sort of disappointment here, or some sense of failure that they felt, and there's frustration there. I'm getting that for some of you, this young person could have experienced an injury of some sort, or some sort of disappointing news, or I'm getting that for some it could be a diagnosis that they've received that felt like doomsday. And so now there is a huge sense of like, it feels like a loss of their sense of self. And I'm seeing Pluto. It feels like there's been an ending to something that they felt like should have been beginning. Okay? I said go to the tarot. Okay. Divine, what do we need to know? What guidance is coming through regarding this situation? What does this beautiful being need to know? I feel like you're in a state of an observer, and what you're seeing, it hurts. Whatever it is that you're observing about this situation, it hurts. Also, there could be a father figure here with this Emperor card. There could be an Aries here. It doesn't have to be, okay? But remember, I was picking up on fire energy. This young person could be facing strained relations with either you. There could be a strain on the relationship between you and this young person, or this young person and their other parent. Okay? There could be a sense of loss there, or there could be a sense of perhaps the other parent is not present. Perhaps the other parent is what's coming through for this other parent energy? Yeah, they might not be present. This other parent might not be present. They might not support this young person. And perhaps that's why you feel that you have been a martyr. You have sacrificed so much. And it's like they're frustrated. This young person is frustrated. But the frustration that they feel is truly with the parent who is not present, or who has made them feel like they're in this Five of Pentacles, rejected, not wanted. But you're the one who's there. You're the one who's there to feel this child's frustration. And they may have sometimes seen it as, well, you're the one who's here, so I love you, but I'm frustrated, so I'm going to take my frustration out on you. And then, you know, we end up here, which is not where you deserve to be. That's not where you deserve to be. This other parent could be a gambler. This other parent, it feels like they have gambled something away. They may have an addiction to gambling or to substances or to something else, but it feels like they have gambled way too many things, including their connection with this young person. You're coming through as this King of Pentacles. You're stable, you're reliable, you're dependable. Perhaps that person in the beginning that needed to go was this other parent. Maybe that's who needs to be released. It could have been someone completely different. It doesn't have to be related to this, but it could be related for some of you. Perhaps this other parent wanted to stick around, but they didn't want to fulfill their duties and their responsibilities. They just wanted to sit on a throne and be an emperor reversed and have control but not contribute anything. And maybe that's something that this young person does not understand. And you, with your watchful eye, observe the heartache that's gone on, that's persisted. Communication, swift movement and communication. Tell us more about this, Spirit, this swift communication. Blocked. Perhaps there's a blockage of the communication between you and this young person. Okay, you and this child. Perhaps you're not communicating like you used to because they're ready to act. They're ready to move. They're ready to do something. They don't want to talk. They don't want to hear what their loving parent has to say because they're focused on the energy of this rejection that they feel from the other parent. Yeah, remember Spirit said that this is about them opening up to compassion for themselves and forgiveness for their parent as well. It's quite something else to have to forgive our parents, because our parents, when we come into this world, they're our God, they're our goddess, they're everything, they're our provider. They're supposed to be our provider, our protector, our nurturer, our everything. And when they don't fit the script, and so not only do we have to learn how to fend for ourselves, how to provide for and protect ourselves, and fill in all the gaps that they leave us with, but then we also have to deal with the emotions that causes, that leads to. Disappointment, hostility, anger, sadness, and then depression. You know, all of the things that we feel as a result of what we witness in our parents. It's a lot. It's a lot. What is the recommendation here, Spirit? Okay, so they said go to this one. Okay, we've got summer here. Something significant is going to happen in the summer. Summer might be significant for you. Someone could have a birthday in the summertime. What's the guidance here, Divine, regarding this young person? Okay, the moon. There's a lot that has to be considered regarding this person's emotions. They're in a very sensitive state at this time, even though they feel fiery, they feel eager. They're coming through even as this Knight of Swords, ready to act, ready to go. I'm getting that since that is Knight of Swords, they're ready to talk to someone, but it feels like they're blocked from someone. So it's like they want to talk to who they want to talk to, but they're completely blocked from someone else. They're blocking out someone else. The Magician. There is change that's able to take place here. There is change that's able to be manifested here. Yeah, see that defiant energy? They want to create their own reality at this time. They want to create their own reality. That's what they're sort of obsessed with and fixated on. It feels like they want to control what they weren't able to control elsewhere in their life. They're very frustrated with how things have gone and with the lack of change that they've been able to create. So now they're going to create change no matter what. Like come hell or high water, they're going to do something that matters. What is it that this being wants to accomplish at this time? This flipped over, the Fool. They want something new. They want to sort of forget the pain of what they've been through, and they want to start their own journey. What is the recommendation or the guidance coming through for this beautiful being as it relates to this young person? Two of Cups. Connection. Understanding. Compassion, but without feeling like you have to sacrifice yourself. Because that's not the answer. Sacrificing your own mental health, your own sense of well-being is not the answer. But if there's ever an opportunity to demonstrate what this young person needs to have both for themselves and for this parent that has not been present, that has not shown up in the way that they needed to, that has not supported them, or more than likely has not supported you in the way that they should have either. It's almost as if like showing this young person the compassion that they need to have for themselves and for the world at this time. Because truly, this eagerness that they have, this fire to get out there, this energy that they have to be the Knight of Swords and get on that horse and just go out there and say whatever needs to be said. Maybe I'm getting like sweet talk their way into this Fool energy. Like they are so motivated to start a new life. they're willing to say or do whatever it is that they think they need to say or do. That's why they're that Knight of Swords on that horse, ready to rush out into the world. Even though that's their vibe, that eagerness is coming from a wound from this other parent that did not do what they needed to do. They disappointed this child. More than likely, they disappointed you as well. Page of Wands. Okay, yeah, the Lovers. This situation will teach this young person a lot as far as their life purpose. Learning to love themselves, learning to love who they are. There could be a lover here. There could be someone that they're motivated to be with, okay? Maybe they're not alone in this effort, 4141 on the timer, to go out there and create this change. But ultimately, Divine will use this situation as an opportunity for this person to learn more about their own path. In all their eager ways with this Page of Wands, they can learn a lot about their true path. You know, the Lover's card can be about union within oneself, an understanding of why we're here on this earth, the purpose that we serve. And ultimately, that is what can come about from this. But there has to be a sense of compassion. Because that's what this young person is lacking at this time. Compassion for themselves and for the world. Yes. Anything else for this from this deck, Divine, for this beautiful being to know? The Hierophant. There's something about this experience that you're going to use to teach. And Divine says you don't have to have this situation all figured out and resolved and neatly tucked away for you to observe and learn from what you're going through and then teach someone something about what they might be going through that's similar. You came through as the Page of Swords because you have observed this situation. That's who you are. You're an observer, you're a learner, and you're also a teacher. That's coming through. You're an observer, you're a learner, and you're a teacher. And so you have already taken in so much information about this and you've processed it. A lot of times we feel like, this situation in my life, it's not completely resolved, and what are people going to think if I'm sharing something about either an experience or a lesson that I've learned, but I haven't completely overcome that situation. That's okay. We teach based on where we are. Sometimes we do get those nice lessons that we've kind of overcome, and it feels like we've completed the lesson. But a lot of times we teach based on what we're going through right now. 4444 on the timer. You're protected as you do this because this is your path. And as you continue to observe, learn, and teach, you're going to find that there's a lot of relief that you get from whatever pain it is that you've been feeling as a result of this situation, or whatever uneasiness you've been feeling. You came through as the milk and honey. That's what you are. No matter what you're going through, you are the milk and honey. You have this rainbow. You have abundance that is coming to you. But what Divine is saying is, don't stop doing what you're called to do just because it might seem like things aren't exactly the way that you wish they were. This is life. And so it rarely looks as neat as we would like it to. You know, that applies to all of us. And anybody who pretends to have the perfect life, and so I am now the almighty Hierophant and teacher and wise one. Like, really? That's such a comfortable space to be in. It doesn't even yield that sense of change and growth that we need to feel as a teacher. It's a little too comfortable. It's like I'm just sitting here teaching you, which is cool. I mean, there are some teachers like that, and I'm not knocking anybody's path. If it's truly how they are, like they're just at peace and chill and teaching, then cool. But people who pretend to be in a perfect space just so that they can feel a little more arrogant when they're teaching or giving a lesson, I think that's like such a cop-out. It's like you don't have to be in a perfect space to share something that's on your heart to share. Whatever lesson it is that you have to share, it's worthy. Whatever energy it is that you have to share, it's worthy. And there's somebody out there, and more than likely many people, I mean, I'm looking at milk and honey, abundance and everything, more than likely a lot of people who need to benefit from what you have to share. And so please don't allow this situation, or whatever situation you might be going through, to hold you back. Okay? Alright, I'm going to close with a shaman's dream. Let's see what's coming through there. Also, Divine I wanted to mention that with this moon, something significant could happen, a change regarding this situation at the time of the full moon. But it feels beneficial. It feels healing. Okay? So you can tap into the energy of the full moon. It may require several moons, okay? But tune into the full moon's energy to assist. Also, this one that we've got coming on Saturday, January 3rd, full moon in Cancer, that's great for the home. So you can connect with Mother Moon to nurture your home and your family. Okay? Yeah. Speak healing energy to your, if this is your child, to your child. And that can allow you to release a lot of the pressure that builds up as far as responsibility, so that you don't have to feel like a martyr, you know? You're not supposed to sacrifice your well-being. You're just supposed to show compassion and love, but also protect your energy as well, you know? What's coming through for this beautiful being, Divine? Thank you. What does this beautiful being need to know at this time? Okay, this came out in the reverse. In the hand, the universe is your partner. Sometimes you might feel like the universe is not working with you. Okay, it is, but based on circumstances, it might look and feel like the universe is not working with you. Okay, And the Wailing Tree, reconciliations. Okay, I'm gonna read 59. ¿Dónde está mi libro? Okay, here we go. Where's my book? Yeah, I taught Spanish for years, so sometimes I still just bust out in Spanish. I don't know. Okay. Alright, so we've got the Wailing Tree here. Grief and mourning, a time of necessary losses and reconciliations. When you encounter the Wailing Tree on your path, it's an invitation to stay a while and regroup, a place for you to rest and allow yourself to say goodbye to what no longer serves. You may have been overdoing things, working too hard, or putting too much effort into life with little reward. If you've been considering making a change, now is the time to do so. One important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointment, your loss, and mourn what was and what could not be. This is a way to honor your experience, to give yourself time to consider all the gifts in it, to put proper closure on it, to really know what you've learned as you walk away from it and into something new. Even in the perception of failure, there's much good. I wanted to say so much good. It says much good, but so much good to be discovered. Ashe. However, skipping the stages of loss does not get you to reconciliation any faster. In fact, you will discover that you will have to come back at some point. So do it all now. Look at it all squarely and honestly and stay with your feelings. Life is not either or, it's both and. This and that. So as you dive in and process this, allow it to become a temporary travel companion on your journey. The feelings that this will bring to the surface will be challenging for sure. Yet, like all things, they will pass soon enough, and you will be more enriched by the experience. You will be more enriched by the experience. And as the Hierophant, as a spiritually wise being and teacher, you will enrich other people's lives as well. For sure. For sure. This experience is going to bring a wealth of understanding about so many things. And you're never going to let that understanding go. It's just going to build. You're going to be such a source of information, of knowledge, of wisdom, and of support for others. And you're not going to sacrifice your well-being in the process. Okay? Ashe. Thank you so much, beautiful being, for joining me for this reading. I'm so grateful that you tuned in. And I hope that this reading brought some clarity, some insight, some good vibes. And I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.